Hello, Cruising World. Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. Monday is Tips Day, my favorite day of the week. How about you? I'm sure you've been waiting for 7 days for this video to come out. Well, it's here. And today I have tips all from Walter and Yolanda. So thank you for sending me your tips. This is what I always ask for. Send me your tips. I will use them. I will learn from them, and so will everybody else. Don't feel like you don't know anything, because I guarantee you do. And I want you to share that with me. And teach me, help me to help you, to help the cruising world. Anyways, with that, let's get on with this. So, Walter and Yolanda's tips this week. We've got 4. Boom! Normally we only do 3. 4 this week. Number 1, the robes that Carnival suppliers are always too small for me, so I asked the cabin steward for a big robe. He said sure and bought me a large robe from the Cloud9 Spa. Now this is kind of an all-encompassing tip, great tip, but it will also expand out to anything else you want in your cabin. When in doubt, ask the cabin steward. If they have access to it, they will get it for you. Guaranteed. They're also nice and friendly. So like, for example, if you wanted an extra pillow and you didn't have them in your room, they'll go get one for you. I've never known them not. So if you feel like there's something you would like or that's missing from your cabin, don't just deal with it and complain at the end of the week. Ask your cabin steward if they can fix the problem for you, and 99 times out of 100, they will. And the other one, they probably will as well. So there you go. So yes, great tip, but an all-encompassing tip if you ask me. Number 2, we frequently see passengers with their CPAP equipment, and I also take mine on every cruise. I order my distilled water over the phone from the fun shops, so I don't have to carry it on board. There never seems to be an outlet on the bedside of the room for the CPAP machine to plug into. We're not at the tip yet, but we're getting some useful information as we build up to it, aren't we? On Carnival Radiance, I'd ask for an extension cord and plug it in at the outlet by the desk and run it down across the floor and tape it down with duct tape. Goes back to asking. If you don't have, they'll get it for you. But we're still not at the tip. Not going to say just a tip. I'm not going to say just a tip. On Carnival Miracle, I found 2 European outlets under the bed for the lamps on the nightstands. I simply unplugged my lamp, installed a European travel adapter, and plugged my CPAP into that. I bought my own extension cord this time, so I wouldn't have to ask for one, but I didn't have to use it, and now no cord to trip over across the floor. Goes back to what I always say, things I would never know. I mean, I don't use a CPAP machine, but a lot of people do. A lot of people wouldn't know about that. So check under the bed or around the area and see if you can see those European outlets. Bring a European outlet with you and it can save all those problems. I had no idea that was the case. And I'm certainly not saying that's going to be the case on every ship. So don't say, oh, you said there was going to be one on every ship. But it might be worth having a look and see if it's there. We always take an extra extension cord with us and we'll run it, because I, like most people, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I grab hold of my phone and check what's going on in the world. So I like to have it charged overnight. So I will run an extension cord if there isn't one. On a lot of the newer ships, they have extra outlets around the phone, especially USB ports. Like on some of the new cabins on Carnival Radiance, for example, they actually have outlets right above the bed. But a lot of the newer ships will at least have USB ports, so be aware of that when you get to the room as well. So you may not always need the extension cord, but I always bring one. I always bring a little, I got this circular thing with like 3 outlets and 6 USB ports so you can plug extra things into. Just make sure there's not a surge protector, because they are not allowed. No surge protectors. Don't ask me why. If anybody's an electrician and understands all that stuff, put it in the comments. I just know they're not allowed. But yes, so there you go. That's a good one. I also saw it once where somebody had an extension cord and they ran it up. They bought some hooks. And there's some magnetic hooks that they put across the ceiling and back down again the other side, and they ran it across the top so it wasn't in the way. There you go. So that's another good one from Walter and Yolanda. We got 2 to go. Woohoo! What a big week this is. Number 3, for years we have always opened the cabin door to hear the ship announcements. On this trip we discovered that if you turn the TV to the ship's bow camera channel, bow camera channel, the announcements will be audible over the TV. Maybe everybody knows this, but maybe not. We didn't know it, and we have cruised quite a bit. Well, I can tell you, I've cruised well over 50 cruises with Carnival, and I didn't know. So there's no such thing as a bad tip, everybody. Now, me personally, the only time the TV is on in my cabin is when I get on the ship and Shaq is telling me about some safety thing or other. And I was going to turn that off as soon as I get in the cabin, and the TV is probably not going to go on again the entire cruise. I used to turn it on during the cruise so I could check my account, but now it's on the hub. I don't need to do that anymore. But so me personally, you know, and when that cruise director makes announcements, I'm like, here we go again. But that's just me. A lot of people find those announcements very good, very informative, and very useful. So if you ever hear them and you can't understand them, boom, go to the bow camera channel. Just maybe when you get on board, check what channel that is. So if you're in a rush to find it, you're not flicking through the channels to see which one it is. Tip from me. All right, so that's a good one. All good ones. Every tip's a good tip. And the last one, our old personal tip is to take a wine kit with you on board if you bring your own wine or if you buy bottles of wine on board. Their kit includes a corkscrew, 2 wine stoppers for vacuum in, and a champagne stopper. If you have your wine that you bought for your room, you can put your wine stopper on it and pump it out to keep it fresh. You can also do the same if you bring back an unfinished bottle from the restaurant. We always bring a bottle of sparkling also, therefore the champagne stopper. So, great tip. And plus, you don't want to have to take it to the restaurant and have them charge you like a $15, $20 corkage fee to open your bottle either, do you? I would always tell people bring a screw cap, but they're never quite as good from what I understand. I do not drink wine. I am that Philistine. I think red wine smells and tastes disgusting. I think the same about whiskey. I think the same about any brown liquor. I cannot stand the smell of it. I don't understand why people like it, but I am very much in the minority. So I totally get where you're coming from with the wine, and that will help everybody. Again, these 4 tips here are tips I would never come up with because they've never really applied to me. But this is about everybody else, not just me, isn't it? So these are perfect tips for me. And thank you, Walter and Yolanda, for sending some awesome tips to me this week that I can share with other people. You know, like with wine, I don't drink it. I'm like the anti-American, you know, because I don't like all things that I should. But it's what you grew up with, isn't it? I mean, I grew up with Marmite. You wouldn't like Marmite, I doubt very much. I don't like peanut butter. I don't like butter on anything. That's not really an American thing or a British thing. I just don't like butter. I have dry toast. I don't like coffee. I don't like cinnamon. I don't like all sorts. Anything that has a really strong smell and flavor that overpowers everything else. I want to taste everything on the plate. I don't want one flavor to overpower it. So I don't like that stuff. That's just me. Everybody's different. It's like musical tastes. You know, I used to say, oh, no, your music's terrible. Yeah, no. No, it's not. That's what that person grew up listening to. They think my music's terrible, but they're wrong as well. That's what I grew up listening to. Everything's about what you grew up with and the taste that you acquire through your youth and moving on. You're always going to like those things, aren't you? You know? So there you go. Remember that when you talk to people. Don't judge people. Don't tell people you have to do this. They don't have to do anything. What you tell people is, if you get in a conversation with them, oh, this is what I do, that might work for you, or along those lines. But don't say you've got to do this, or it won't work, or blah, 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 blah. No, that's a big turn off for me. Anyway, I don't know about you. By the way, I digress. I am taken away from Walter and Yolanda's brilliant tips this week. So thank you for that. Keep sending yours. Send me your cruise traditions. And if you like these videos, keep watching them. But if you want to be part of them, send me your tips and cruise traditions. And if you'd like to subscribe to my lovely little channel here, please hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions for me on anything carnival related or cruises in general or anything like that, or if you just want to, let me know what the weather's like where you're from. Don't really care. And by the time you email me and I read it, it will be changed. But, you can do it if you want. And my email is coming up at the end of this little video. So with that, until next week, I've got more. I'll see you later, Cruising World. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel? We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, Mick, at elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please.
Subscribe! Thank you.